This is the story of a happy little accident that happened while turning this plain wood nutcracker into this antique brass beauty that sells for a ridiculous $150. I started with a gaggle of unfinished nutcrackers in all different sizes. I got them at Michael's, and though you can find small unfinished nutcrackers in a few other places, Michael's is the only game in town when it comes to the big ones. The first key to transforming wood into brass is metallic antique brass spray paint. This should come as no surprise. But on the day I started this project, I only had one measly can, and that made me feel naked and afraid. What if I ran out of paint mid-nutcracker? What would the neighbors think? So to play it safe, I just painted the big guy in one of the medium nutbusters. And guess what? They looked great, that's what. And here the story might have ended had it not been for that pesky end grain that just kept lorping up all the paint and, well, exposing itself to the world. Now tell me, how on earth can I pass off wood as antique brass if the dang end grain won't shut up and go away? Well, I had the idea that some shellac might cork up that thirsty end grain and allow the paint to cover it. So while I went and bought more antique brass spray paint, I also picked up a can of shellac. And guess what? It worked, that's what. But then something magical happened, and I only wish Bob Ross were still with us because it is what he used to call a happy little accident. Okay, so the shellac can said to wait an hour before painting. An hour? Ain't nobody got time for that. So I said nutcrackers to this nonsense. I'm painting right this very minute, boy howdy. And guess what? Magic happened, that's what. The shellac did some weird stuff to the paint and made it look authentically metallic, and my antique brass nutcrackers turned out amazing. Now, go and get yourself an unfinished nutcracker. In fact, get yourself a gaggle of them and start spraying. I'm sure you'll make beautiful antique brass nutcrackers because you are amazing and you made it with Michael's.